Hi everyone. So I thought it would be kind of cool to bring everyone through the process of what it typically looks like um, running a modular patch into the OP-1, separating out the different parts of the patch and recording it to the different tracks and taking you through the process that I typically use to arrange these tracks and then perform them on the OP-1. So as you can see, I have 4 tracks on the OP-1 tape, and I'll start just by going over the first track. So I have my input here coming in from the modular, and I have sort of a bass line, a bass pad, and this is composed of the 2 outputs of Plaits, and it's crossfaded in the channels with Rosie, so this is the auxiliary output. And then this is the main output here. The main output is actually being ring modulated by blinds through, the audio coming out of the all-pass filter of Sisters is modulating that audio from blinds. So you're getting these weird, almost like string sounds, like bass string sounds coming from that, which is kind of cool. So I leave that in the mix there, and then I have that centered. The thing is, with the modulars, I have a stereo setup, but the OP-1 line-in is only mono, so it's cool to be able to record to different tracks and pan them with the mixer. Secondly, you'll hear just some drums from the OP-1 programmed straight into the tape track from the OP-1. And then together with that bass synth coming from Plaits. And something we hear is that the timing isn't totally perfect. I don't have the modular running to any sort of tempo, so when I recorded that bass line into the OP-1, I basically had to cut the tape in and out where it sounded right, but it's kind of, there's an LFO running to the level of Plaits to create kind of like a false sidechain that I can fill in with the kick drum on the OP-1. So the timing isn't perfect, but you'll see it sort of fills out once all the other parts are in there. It's more noticeable when the arrangement is minimal at first. So now I'll bring you to where Rings comes in. Rings is also sequenced with marbles. I didn't mention that, but Plaits is sequenced with marbles. So I'll remove these voices. And these are coming, the stereo Rings voice is coming in through the send and return through Rosie, which creates a stereo image. And this is what it sounds like by itself. Again, it's just going to be in mono because the OP-1 input is mono, and I'm just running the audio through that right now so you can see essentially what I hear in the tracks of the OP-1 before it's all panned out. I actually do have this panned a bit to the right. So it's just a little simple loop, Rings running into clouds, pretty standard. So I'll mute that track. And then I have the same kind of thing happening on channel 2, panned a little differently. And when I recorded this part, I changed the bias of marbles down. So it's playing within the same scale, but the actual notes it's playing are going to be lower. So I have that going to the left ear. So it's, again, the same scale, the same sounds coming from Rings. It's just going to be some different actual notes, creating a stereo harmony. And let's turn that down, get rid of the mic input, and I'll just play tracks 2 and 3 for you at the same time. And you'll hear there are some drums in there because I layered drums, overdubbed them onto those tracks after those voices were recorded. And I really like overdubbing and panning stereo percussion. Like I do a lot of hard panned hi-hats that are maybe slightly different in terms of the rhythm that they're playing, but you know, the hi-hat sound is the same, and you'll be able to hear that if you listen to these tracks. I had a little arpeggio to track 2, so I'll play that by itself. This is just track 3. Got some percussion in there. And here's track 2. So some different percussion sounds. It sounds kind of glitchy, and it doesn't sound very rhythmic by itself, but when you hear it in the context of everything, basically what I do, I'll start off with the, 2 of the main tracks to give a foundation. And you kind of have your bearings with the tune, and then I'll bring in another track. Play with some of the tape tricks on the OP-1. So that was a super fun thing to do. And I love doing little drop-ins like that. And at its most simple, you just layer the tracks in and add them as the loop plays back again. Really helps to build the texture of a piece.